Welcome back to finally we have a Talking Pop Culture live. It's been a long time, but we're finally here back doing it. Guys, today's show we are going to talk about Obi-Wan. Finale. We're gonna talk about the latest episodes of Marvel, Miss Marvel, and we're going to talk about The Boys. So if you haven't seen the latest episodes of those, maybe tune out because there will be spoilers. Let me introduce the people that I have with me tonight, and we'll kick it off representing the AussieVerse. He is also now a fitness trainer by the looks of it. I give you Omnibo.
I thought you were going to say Mark. Hey, how are you?
Mate, you're the one that was doing the bloody fitness training.
Oh, right.
with omnibuses.
Thank you very much.
Which was really good. I really enjoyed that, mate. I give you props. And the next member representing AussieVerse, he is no stranger to talking pop culture. We have Mark Grod Watson. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. How is everybody? Let's finish off the weekend with a bang and a very colourful chat about
shitty.
Yeah, some of these shows.
Oh yeah, been great. Unfortunately, Ryan and Sharif, other members of AussieVerse, couldn't make it. They had plans already for tonight, so shout out to those two. And we also now have probably Australia's number one Spider-Man. We have MadSpidey. How are you, sir?
What's going on, boys? All I can say is Bo has too much free time on his hands.
That took me 10 minutes.
Dude, when I seen the thumbnail, I'm like, I can't wait for this to come up. Like, I was like, I don't know what to expect, but you and Lee fucking knocked that out of the park.
Lee said he was dying when I sent him the videos. He was laughing and he goes, I didn't think you had this in you. And I'm like, mate, you don't know me very well.
If you haven't seen it, people, if you're watching on the replay or watching live after this, head over to Whack Comics and look up the Omnibo workout. What did you call it? The Omnibus workout, was it?
Yeah, Whack Comics AussieVerse Omnibus workout, where you can get fit while reading omnibuses.
So be sure to go and check it out. As always, guys, please subscribe to everyone on the channel here. I have their links in the description below. I was prepared this time. And yeah, so we're going to kick it off with maybe Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I think a lot of people were very disappointed with the last episode. Me, however, I absolutely loved it. I am going to really offend a lot of Star Wars fans. I loved episode 3. That's probably my favorite Star Wars film because I loved the chemistry and I love the story with Anakin becoming Darth Vader, and that's why I loved this show because it picked up kind of from there. I'm
Revenge of the Sith, was it?
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith, I think it was, and I just loved that. The story between him and Padme, Anakin and Padme, and Anakin and Obi-Wan, and that's why I really loved that movie, and that's why this show I loved it. And I know a lot of people bitching and complaining about the fight scene at the end. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So this was probably my favorite Star Wars show so far, without a doubt. Who's going to kick it off next? Bo, what were your thoughts on it?
I actually haven't seen the show.
Oh no, that's it. You told me in the freaking preview.
Yeah, but I'm totally with you though. I am not the biggest Star Wars fan. I do enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. And I've seen The Mandalorian. I really enjoyed that, but I haven't seen Boba Fett and I haven't seen Obi-Wan Kenobi. But I am with you where, not being a diehard Star Wars fan, I really loved that third movie.
Yeah,
that showed that lava pit fight scene and him becoming Darth. I dug that majorly. So out of all the Star Wars shows, this is actually one that I really do want to see because I love that storyline. Yeah.
I was very surprised that they just pulled out Darth Vader like the whole show. Like, this should have been a movie, but that's what Disney doing at the moment. They're just stealing with the shows. Mark, what were your thoughts?
I actually like the show, so it takes away a little bit when you know what's going to happen. You know they're both not going to die, and you know Princess Leia's not going to die. So it took away a bit because at the end you're like Darth Vader's after him. You go, oh, geez, he's in trouble. But then you sort of know that Obi survives because of the movies. So I said to talk a bit away from it. I got a Darth Vader stubby holder,
Nice.
even as a cape.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. Look, I don't disagree with any of you. All those prequels, those first 3 episodes. I didn't mind them. I do prefer the older ones, but Darth Vader's the interesting character. Let's be honest, isn't he?
Yeah.
And more Darth Vader, I'm all for. And my big complaint in the prequel ones is was Hayden Christensen. I don't think he did a bad job. I just think he's with Anakin. It's a very emotional character. Him turning dark because he's figuring out stuff. And I just didn't think Hayden Christensen. He's very robotic as he's acting, but he was young. So look, he still did a good job, and I'm happy he came back for this, which was pretty cool. So yeah. Enjoyed that last fight scene. You're right, Matt. That last fight scene I loved.
That's epic.
Absolutely loved because you finally got to see movement out of Darth Vader. Because in the other movies he's just like, But yeah, this one you got to see movement. You got to see them using the Force, throwing things, and yeah, it was cool.
You know what? The girl absolutely stole the show as well as Princess Leia. I absolutely loved her in this. I know people complain about that as well, but I think she stole the show. She played that personality of Princess Leia really good. Like you could see it in her, the older version.
Yeah.
And I also liked the the third sister. She was pretty badass. Spidey, what were your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, I'm the same as Bo, where I love Star Wars, but I'm not a fan, like a fanatic or anything like that. Like I just enjoy watching it for what it is. It's quite funny that Mark mentioned about the movement sort of thing, because you always remember Darth Vader being very sort of stiff but ominous at the same time. Like he didn't have to make big grand gesture movements or be fancy with the lightsaber to bring across that like really menacing sort of demeanor, I suppose you could say. But I thought the fight scene was awesome. It was a little bit, the series as a whole was a little bit slow going. I didn't like Leia at the start. I just thought she's looked like this spoiled little brat that got on my nerves. But you could see the growth. They did do the growth of her, that she started to mature, become to, like as you said, like what she's going to become in the later movies when we know her as an adult. And you could sort of see the development like right at the end, especially like, yeah, okay, we know she's going to become that famous character. So I still enjoyed it, even though it was a little bit of a slow burn at the start.
I was hoping that would push the screen up, the comment there, but sorry, I'm going to bar you guys down the middle there. Apologies. Film Age Studio says, Obi-Wan was ruined for me. He had Vader on his knees, but walked away and allowed 10 years of brutality at the hands of Vader.
And that's the same argument as why Batman lets Joker live.
Batman v Superman had that. That was the same argument, yeah.
Yeah, so you let the Joker live and he goes on and be a menace, but if you kill him, you're no better than them. It's a good argument. But I wouldn't say it ruins something. Like Obi-Wan kept his humanity, maybe. What do you guys reckon?
You knew he was going to die either way. You know what I mean? Like him on his knees could have finished it. You knew because we already have the films. That's the unfortunate thing about this show. Like you knew when Leia got kidnapped. You knew. But then in the movies, didn't she? Like I was trying to remember because I haven't watched the original ones for a while. In the original movies, didn't she talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi? So it kind of, is that right? Like she has mentioned Obi-Wan. She knew Obi-Wan.
Yeah, she was the one that had the message in R2 to say Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope.
Yeah.
Obi's in the first episode. Oh, well, the number 4. Sorry, of the movies. and he
Yeah,
dies
so
by
it
Darth Vader.
explains the relationship that she has with him, so it kind of goes back. So
Yeah,
that's the only thing. You knew everything that you knew she wasn't going to die. You knew everything that was going to go on. There we go, Ryan. Sup, Ryan? How are you, buddy?
See, what they should have done is really piss off the audience by retconning something like, imagine if Princess Leia gets killed in this show, for example, or one of the other main characters, and they retcon it that the one that we know has always been a clone or something. Can you imagine the audience reaction to that? That would just be on fire, and I would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah.
But that's why I like being a casual fan. Like, I'm not a hardcore Star Wars fan. Every time a new movie comes out, I'll rewatch all of them. That's how I do it when I watch it. I'm not a massive Star Wars fan, but I just don't understand how people like Ryan here saying it ruined Obi-Wan for me. I don't understand how. Like, I'd love to know you guys. So you crazy Star Wars fans, let me know why it ruined it. Because I enjoyed it.
It's the same with me and Marvel films, especially Spidey films. Like everybody always asks me in new Spidey film, "Oh, what do you think? What do you think? You're the Spidey guy. What do you think?" And I was initially like that. I'd walk in there and I'd watch the movies, watch it at home, whatever. I'd be like, "That was wrong. I hated that. Why did they do it like this?" I always put it down to Hollywoodization that has to be for everybody, not just for, the hardcore fans or the comic fans. And it's the same. It could be the same said with Star Wars. Like, it needs to be enjoyable. They need to tell a story. They need to have key elements from the novels, from the comics, from the original movies and stuff like that. But they still have to try and go to a broad audience at the same time. So regardless of whether you're a hardcore fan or not, everybody's going to hate it or love it or be somewhere in between. You're not going to win either way.
I was sort of in the fact of, with the older episodes, I wasn't a big Obi-Wan Kenobi fan in the fourth one when I was a kid. Like, he was very robotic and he was just around for a little bit. He was just an old man and he got killed. And so when Ewan McGregor took it over, he put a bit more personality to it. So I guess that changed the Obi-Wan sort of narrative a little bit, but look, he could have killed Darth Vader, just like it on, if anyone's watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where he goes, "Yeah, cool motive, but it's still murder, right?" So if he kills Darth Vader, it's still murder. So
I've got a question because I can't really remember. How does Darth Vader find out that Luke was his son? I can't really remember in the films. Is that like going to lead?
You don't really, from because I haven't watched them in years as well. From what I remember, it's not. I don't think he even like see anything like to lead to that. I think he just sensed somehow that once obviously Luke had started developing his force powers, that he knew automatically it was him. Hey, Rothy.
What's up, Rothy? I enjoyed the show enough for what it was, but it didn't really add anything to the Star Wars story. There was no real reason of jeopardy since you knew all the main characters were going to survive. Yes, exactly. That's what we were saying. Like, it just kind of ruined.
That's the risk.
Boba Fett. Boba Fett in the comics is how he finds out. Right. Okay. So then how does Boba Fett find out? Will that be because of the
don't start going too far into it.
No, I'm guessing because that's the way the third sister knows who Luke is, right?
Yeah.
So maybe the third sister told Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
So
I guess to him somehow, because he does know by the movies, doesn't he?
Yeah. So I'm curious to see where they go with this. They want to, will there be a second one? Do you think they could do a second one?
Well, they originally said no. They originally said one and done. But then there's rumors going around that they might be looking at doing a second one because there's still a big time frame in between this now and when you actually see Obi-Wan, as an old man in New Hope. And also you got to remember that he's living in some stupid, little cavern sort of thing or whatever, whereas in the New Hope, he's actually in a structured sort of house or building or whatever in a mountainside. So, there's a lot of time there to fill in a gap if they want to go that way.
Yep.
I want a Darth Vader one. I just want a Darth Vader show.
Yeah, yeah, me too. That'd be cool.
Especially with that, because I'm reading Pax Star Wars Darth Vader comic. It's the only one I read. Oh, and I picked up Obi-Wan, but I've been reading the Star Wars one from the start. And if they put that into a show, because that is absolutely amazing, that comic.
Well, there's rumors of a Qui-Gon show now going to happen too.
Mate, there'll be freaking shows coming out.
Oh yeah, it'll never end.
Yeah, there'll be everything. You know, I mean, the two biggest draws that Disney have, other than being Disney, is Star Wars and Marvel. So expect this stuff to just be pumped out.
So, okay, so they've both said that Boba Fett finds out because he destroyed the Death Star. Right.
Yeah, so that's Rogue One sort of thing, isn't it? Is it?
Yes.
I can't remember, yeah.
Now, Rogue One, they get the plans off Leia, isn't it? At the end.
Yeah, maybe that's a prequel to all of them. Anyway, yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to the next one, which I will be a man and say my apologies. Miss Marvel. After I watched the first episode, I was like, why am I watching this garbage? The second episode, I was like, meh. But this third episode was actually quite good. The fight scene was good. I actually liked the dancing that they were doing, Bollywood dancing, if that's what it is. The story has always been good in this show. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel that the acting and that the script is... What's up, Simple Simon? How are you, sir? I find the script and the acting is pretty hard to digest. The story plot I'm liking, but the script and acting I'm just not. But this third episode did make me enjoy it. I did make a video saying how this show is definitely not the greatest Marvel show according to Rotten Tomatoes. It is. There was no chance I believed it was, but this third episode kind of put it up there. Now, I've got to make the things, this is better than Moon Knight, which I call him crazy. But if you're watching, I'm not going to mention you, mate, but I think you're still wrong. But yeah, what were your thoughts, Bo, on Miss Marvel?
Mate, I couldn't give a rat's about this. I just don't care, you know, and that's very hard for me to say because I'm such a diehard Marvel fan that I'll watch anything Marvel put out, even if it's stuff that I don't care about, like this show. But I've got to admit, I do find the actress that plays Miss Marvel very good. I am very happy with the way she's portraying it and everything. But it's just, man, I just don't care. There's just not enough in this for me to just go, yeah, great, Miss Marvel's on tonight. Where every other Marvel show, it's always been Wednesday night. Yeah, great, this show's on. The facts are as well is that it's the lowest watched Marvel show out of all of them, but it is also the highest viewed Marvel show in a certain demographic. So it's not catered to us. I don't think, which is fair.
It's not.
Yeah. But I just don't care, man. And I get that they're trying to I've got to choose my words very carefully here as well.
No, you can say what you want, mate, on this channel, buddy.
I guess I don't understand the whole religious aspect of it, where when does a religion come into play on any other character? When does that matter? Like when it comes to politics, religion, I get sexuality. That's a bit different. You know, you want to be able to represent every facet of life, but I just don't I just don't care. I just don't see why it's important. Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, fair enough, you have a Muslim character, cool. You can say that they're a Muslim character. You can show a bit of the background, but I just think it's a bit too much where they're just trying to show off. They're just trying to push it way too much.
Well, I think they're trying to push it for that market.
Yeah, I get that, but
they're trying to get the views from them.
Have we ever cared what Captain America's religion is, or Spider-Man's religion is, or Fantastic Four's religion? We never needed to know. It never mattered. Because that doesn't factor in.
Yeah,
you got to look at the time frames too, because Miss Marvel was released as a character in comics very, very recently, whereas obviously there's a lot of things circulating in the media about diversity and sexuality and religion, whereas back in the 60s was they're just a hero.
Yeah.
Yes, we want to know about their backstory, but not the real nitty-gritty specifics where it didn't matter as much as what it may do now.
Maybe I'm old school, it's very possible, but I still don't get how it matters at all. I mean, you released a video the other day talking about the first gay Spider-Man, in that show, and I just don't understand why any of that matters. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're reading a comic about this gay Spider-Man, for example, or Miss Marvel, I understand in that aspect why you want to flesh out their backstory and who they are as an individual. That's cool. I get it, which kind of contradicts what I'm saying about the show. But I just don't see in the big scheme of things why any of that real life stuff matters in a make-believe universe where you're really just trying to get away from the reality of the world and enjoy the make-believe of the Marvel universe,
Yeah. Mark, what are your thoughts?
Well, just to go off that topic, I guess it is a point where you can use this as a stone for people to learn. I mean, like, people might not want to learn, but you do have Christianity in Daredevil, because that's very heavily. And you did massively in Moon Knight. Now, there's a lot of Egyptian gods and a lot of Egyptian stuff thrown in your face. So, look, to be honest, like you, it doesn't bother me, but I do think that it's a good opportunity to point out that Muslim is. I read somewhere that there is 200 different types of Muslim religions, and now everybody seems to convert to the bad, the extremists, and it's just a point of thought in people's heads. So it's just good to put it out there in a Marvel show that there is good Muslim religions and people doing good. And I mean, like, I don't think they're forcing it too much, but I'm glad they're putting this in a good light, just saying, this Muslim community is not the extremist community, which is a lot of people revert to. So that, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So it's a good platform for it.
Well, yeah, you and Captain Sarah have made some good points. So I'm willing to admit that, you know what, 100%, you're right. Maybe I hadn't thought about the bigger picture as I'm watching that, and that's been my closed-minded way of thinking. But yeah, and you're right. If they've done it with Daredevil, they've done it with Moon Knight. It is a huge part of her story. Then yeah, fair enough. Then Bo, you're wrong. Shut up.
Yeah, well, look, it's
not wrong. Anyone can have an opinion. It's fine. You're never wrong.
It's not about forcing. I mean, like, some people don't want to hear it, or don't care enough to want to hear it. But it's about involving them, or just making them a part of it, and just giving them a bit of backstory, because we wouldn't know this sort of stuff of what they have to do. Like, I didn't know.
Well, yeah, the only thing I just still disagree with this film or this show was in that first episode, where this is where I think the story is stuffed. The mum wouldn't allow her to go to AvengerCon because there'll be girls dressing up as cosplayers and there'll be horny boys there and whatnot. But yet she's allowed to go late at night out on the street and sit on a roof with a boy that likes it. Like, I understand they trust the boy, but in my head I'm thinking, well, you can't say no to that, but then say yes to go hanging out in the street at night time. Like, they're the kind of things that, when I know they're little things to nitpick at, but that's the things, like, when I watch the stories, that they've got to make sense, kind of thing.
What number one thing I'd think of is, it would suck to have a daughter and just when they turn 16, because you would think that as a dad.
Yeah. Spidey, what were your thoughts on Miss Marvel, mate? Do you have anything to add on?
Yeah, mine's a bit of what everybody said, a bit of a mixed sort of reaction, I suppose. Because the thing is, though, this show was originally marketed for young adolescent girls. This is what the core focus was before it was even released, was that this is the focus group that we want young adolescent girls to, read comics, read Miss Marvel, because they might relate to her and things like that. Yes, the religion part is a big thing of her story, from what I know. Like, I haven't seen much of her stuff before, but from what I know, it is a big part of the storyline. But I think at the same time, this is a Marvel superhero thing still. Maybe try to drum it down a little bit and get back to the actual storyline of, okay, it's her against the clandestines or whoever it is. Like, obviously, the first thing that annoyed me is that they're like, oh, it's a magical bracelet. It's nothing to do with, because she's basically an Inhuman from what I know.
She is.
So what's the stupid bracelet got to do with, she's, it's not showing Inhuman or anything like that. And she, obviously, they've made her, weird powers instead of the stretchy powers and all that sort of stuff. Yes, okay. Once again, that's the Hollywoodization in it. It annoyed me a bit, but yeah, as long as they move along with the hero part of the story and not focus on the religion part too much, you can still add it in there. That's fine. That doesn't worry me. But don't focus on it for a whole episode.
I think
Get back to the actual storyline.
I think that's what my point was. Yeah.
Yeah. I still enjoy the show.
Yeah, but other than that, like it is a little bit of a hard watch sometimes, but it's still I'm still enjoying it, and I'll still watch it all. If it comes out on DVD or whatever, I'll probably buy it like I do everything else. But yeah, it's like I'll be interested to see where it goes.
Yeah. So are they meant to be the Negabands, like Quasar?
I'm not a Marvel fan, so I don't know. I wouldn't even.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard to say. There sort of looks like they're trying to focus on that it might be.
Yeah, because that's what I thought. I thought if they are, then what's the point of making them the Negabands? Because if they were those, then surely they'd be going to another superhero later down the track, like a Nova or a Quasar or whatever. But then what powers does Miss Marvel have without them? So
exactly,
it's confusing.
Yeah, so it's sort of a bit of a double-edged sword the way they're going with that. But whether maybe she might take off the bracelet and she might still have the powers, or maybe go to her comic-based powers. I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe they're just enhancing what she already had. Yep. So maybe that's what the stretchy part is, but what they call night lights. Maybe that's what the bands are actually doing to it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go.
I really enjoyed the fight scene where she's running away from him to Bon Jovi music. Now that was cool.
Yes.
Did that just amp you up?
My question is, because again, I'm not a massive Marvel fan. Like, I'm a Marvel fan, but I don't like read all of Marvel, so I have fuck all idea about Miss Marvel. Is she like what? Is she called Miss Marvel because she idolizes Captain Marvel, or
that's where it basically came from? Like just like the show with all the posters. And...
Miss Marvel,
no, not
Captain Marvel.
Totally different powers.
So in the comics, she's a diehard superhero fan, and she writes fan fiction for superheroes. And Miss Marvel is her number one. Captain Marvel is her number one. So yeah, that's why she calls herself Miss Marvel.
Right.
But it's strange how, in a way, when they've sort of reintroduced the Inhumans recently via Doctor Strange, how they haven't bothered with the whole Inhumans origin part. Like, I guess the way of thinking is why would we want to introduce our first Inhuman apart from Black Bolt in the Doctor Strange? Because then people are going to have questions about Inhumans, and then we're going to need to do more Inhuman stuff. And I guess Marvel doesn't want to. But at the same time,
they did an Inhuman series.
Yeah, but they like to also pretend that never existed as well.
We all do.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That was my life. But yeah, it's just strange to me why they're going in that direction. I like to have faith in Kevin Feige, though, and think there's going to be an end game, because obviously they've got a plan with her being in the next Captain Marvel movie, The Marvels. Maybe do a Young Avengers. Who knows?
Well, let's move it on to... This is just the fucking greatest show I've ever fucking... The Boys. Now, I asked, so my job, sales rep. Anyway, this is how much of a good sales rep I am. One of our clients came in, and he's an old fella, watches with his family the Marvel shows, he's into it all, and he comes to me for, advice on characters and all that. Not that I know much about Marvel, but I try to give him the best that I can. I say, mate, are you watching The Boys? He's like, The Boys? I go, have you got Amazon Prime? He's like, no. I said, get it, $6 and watch this show. I go, listen, I'll just give you a little teaser. And I played him the penis scene. And
Oh, God.
he literally fell on the ground laughing. He comes in 4 days later. And I go to him, you watching it? He goes, yeah, me and the family, the girls, the wife are loving it.
Oh, no.
Dude, I wouldn't be watching this with the his kids like 14 and 16, so daughters. And I'm like, I wouldn't be watching this show with
I
them.
still don't know whether they'd be,
But no, he's obviously, he's a cool dad. But man, the fact that they had to put a warning, this is the first time they actually put a warning at the front of the show. And I just am like, what are they going to do next? But this episode, the Herogasm?
Herogasm. I actually thought it was going to be a lot worse.
I'm thankful my girlfriend. I'm thankful my girlfriend's. Well, she's on her way home now. She's stuck at Bogota Airport for 11 hours to catch her next flight. I'm happy she didn't walk in on me seeing a guy have sex with an octopus.
But come on, how freaking hilarious was
this?
That?
Is hands down the greatest show.
Oh, those arms, they reach for D.
The only thing I've got to say about this show is that I think, and I don't know, I haven't read the book, I've only read the first omnibus. I think once Homefront or
Homelander?
Homelander and Butcher goes, one of them go, I think the show collapses. I think those two are what make the show.
Yeah,
so, Bo, what are your thoughts, mate?
Well, I have been dying for the newly released, oversized omnibus hardcover to be released, and it's on the way now. I didn't realize there were 3 of them for The Boys, so I've gone and pre-ordered the other 2. So I've never actually read it, but obviously I love this show. It is just amazing. So buying the books was a no-brainer. I thought Herogasm was going to be a lot worse than what it was. I thought it was quite tame compared to...
When you open that door, tell me is that tame?
Tame for the warning that we got.
One of the greatest things that I've ever seen on The Boys is in the first season where the plane is going to crash and they realize that they can't save them. And they're just like, oh, well, screw it. Let's go. And whoever the Wonder Woman character is, Miss
Maeve.
She's like, we can't just leave them. And the people start panicking and they're like, you're superheroes. You're meant to save us. And then Homelander looks at them and goes, get the fuck back or I'll eye blast you, you know? To me, that is one of the greatest scenes I've ever seen in anything to do with superheroes because it's the complete opposite of what you will always see in superhero stuff. So I think this show is just absolute gold. I love it. And what's his name that plays Butcher? Judge Dredd.
Carl Urban.
Mate, you're right. Him and Homelander, they knock those roles out of the park. They are absolutely amazing, you know. I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
My uncle and his partner, they messaged me like, oh, have you seen the show called The Boys on Amazon? And I'm like, uncle, really? You're asking me, a person that loves comics and superhero stuff, if I watch The Boys? He goes, oh, me and Chris, we're absolutely loving it. I said, where are you up to? He goes, oh, you know, we binged season 1 in one night and they're going to binge season 2. I go, message me when you watch the first episode of season 3. Mate, that next day I got a text message and when your gay uncle is enjoying something like that, wow, this show can't offend anyone. And that's what I like. I like the fact that, dude, how this hasn't been taken, like, you know what I mean? Like the woke movement haven't tried to get rid of this. Because if you really look into it, it does get, like, racist, if you can say that, without trying to be racist. And, you know what I mean? Woke shit. But, yeah, Mark, what are your thoughts on The Boys so far, mate? I'm guessing you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Yeah, loving it. I loving all the cast, the acting. I I think Star, his last name Star. I can't remember his first name. Who plays Homelander? I mean, like, where is he?
Anthony Starr, I think it is.
That's it, Anthony Starr. Where has he been for like 20 years? Like, he's a good actor. Like, I know he's New Zealand, but maybe that's where he's been. But yeah,
He actually nearly got locked up.
I heard he got assault charges in Italy. Was it?
Yeah, I think it was somewhere in Europe. Yeah.
Yeah, Italy. So yeah, I love it. Carl Urban's awesome as Billy the Butcher. That hero-gasm, like, I did expect worse, but still, come on, we saw more penises than a public toilet in that episode almost.
Like this whole season. Whole season's all about dick. That's all you see swinging around every episode.
So, look, I've enjoyed it. Obviously, Jensen Ackles, what a great addition.
Oh, yeah.
When the two of them faced off, I was just like, all right, this is grouse. So, yeah. Anyway, love it.
Spidey, what are your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, I was just, it automatically sort of things like when we're talking about like, the plane scene, I'm like, the first scene of the first episode of the first season was A-Train like running through Huey's girlfriend. It's like, how can you not know what the hell was going to go, from there? But
jacking off the building, jacking off the top of a building, looking at himself.
Yeah, and there's been some extreme, we'll say crude, things that have made this show what it is. I don't know what else to say. It's like one of my favorite scenes is when the girl in the first season, sitting on the guy's head, doing the business, and it just explodes. I thought that was hilarious.
I love that Butcher acts like a jealous girlfriend when Frenchie tells him that the Russian chick met him. And his reply was, "What did that Russian say wrong with you?" Frenchie's actually my favorite character. I like Frenchie. I really do.
You there. Frenchie's my favorite.
Yeah, I like Frenchie. Then it'd be Milk. Mother Milk?
Mother's Milk.
Mother's Milk.
Mother's Milk,
yeah.
MM. He's really shining this episode too. Like, I'm liking how they've made his story with
they've gone a bit deeper emotionally instead of just being we hate soups, let's just kill them sort of type thing.
Yeah. And I like that Frenchie's starting to grow a set. Like Huey's starting to grow a set.
Yeah.
Like, he's starting to be a man. I like this season, they've started to really the character development with the other characters outside of Butcher and Homelander, that they're really actually working on them. And they've all now got their own kind of side stories. Which, I was
a bit late to the party. I can't believe that's Dennis Quaid's son.
Yeah.
Looks exactly like him when you think about it.
Huey
is.
Oh, fuck, I'm late to the party. We didn't know that.
I'm with you, Matt. I only found out this season. I was going, oh.
Isn't his mum... I've gone blank with her name, but his mum's famous too.
Quaid was Total Recall, wasn't it? Was he in Total Recall?
No.
In a space.
He's the character in Total Recall.
In a space.
Any Given Sunday. You've seen Any Given Sunday, right?
Yes. Which one's he?
Yes, so he's the old quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid, yeah.
Have you guys seen the Diabolical, the cartoon series?
No, is that good?
Nah, I'm sort of hesitating to watch that.
What is it? Is it like
it's
a part of it, or?
Yeah, so it's just 8 random stories in the boys' universe, and you don't need to watch them in order. It's like Love, Death, and Robots. You can just watch any episode, and some of them are really, really good. So, don't get me wrong, they're all good, but some of them are like really into the boys' universe, while another few of them are just like 2 random people that you'll never see again, their story in the boys' universe. But I highly recommend it, especially the last episode, because that's all about Homelander. And it shows sort of a little bit of a backstory with Homelander joining Vought. And it's really violent too.
No, I'll have to check that out, because I seen it come up as a recommendation after I finished watching it the last episode, and I was like, "What's this?" So now I'll have to check that out.
How many more episodes have we got?
3, I think.
Yeah, I don't know whether they've actually stated how many there were.
I read or I watched something. There's only like 9, 8, 9. I'm pretty sure I heard 2 or 3 episodes left.
So I think the first 2 seasons were 10 apiece, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hang on,
10 or 9, yeah.
we can work this out right now. 1 sec.
Simon Pegg gets to play Huey like how it was meant to be. Yeah, because Huey in the comics looks completely different to Huey in the movie, in the show, sorry. In the guy
8, so 2 left.
2,
Well,
yes.
right.
8 episodes this season.
So what is he expecting?
Well,
So,
shit, they've got 2 episodes to pull out.
Yeah.
Like, we got a taste of the fight scene, so I'm guessing the last episode will be the massive fight scene. But, yeah, I'm curious. It's obviously going to leave it in a big cliffhanger. It's not going to...
Well, they always have.
Sorry?
They always have left on some sort of a cliffhanger.
This episode delivered emotional moments with hilarious sequence, especially when Soldier Boy said, "You think you're tough? You're wearing a cape. You just achieved fucking knock off that." Yeah.
I loved that bit.
That was a fucking great one.
There you go. The Jack Quaid, his mum, is Meg Ryan.
Oh, it's Meg Ryan.
Oh, there you go. Because she's like disappeared off the face of the earth since the late 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she made a movie with the Hulk guy. What was it? In the Cut.
With Ruffalo.
Yeah, with Ruffalo. In the Cut, I think it was called. I think that was the last one I watched with her in it. But yeah, Meg Ryan's his mum. Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck, she'd be old. How old would she be now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since the days that she was making rom-coms with Tom Hanks. Yeah.
Tom Hanks. What was that? Was it Sleepless in Seattle? No.
Yeah, Sleepless in Seattle. That other
she made one with Billy Crystal.
Yeah, and Hugh Jackman, where he was like a soldier that came into the future, and they started dating. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway. 8 episodes, mate. I didn't realize. I thought there was 10. That's disappointing.
Yeah, so I didn't realize they've all been 8. Now that Rothy said that, I thought that was 10.
Yeah, so obviously because they've renewed season 4, so they're probably not going to get the result of killing Homelander, are they? Or Soldier Boy. They're just going to keep that string going.
Oh yeah, they'll go Soldier Boy, Homelander another season, but I just don't ever see Butcher or Homelander leaving the show, because once they do, they could maybe make Soldier Boy defeat Homelander and then he becomes the fucking egotistic guy, and Jacqueline's can really play that. We know that. So maybe that's what they'll do. But yeah, I just can never get sick of watching Homelander and Butcher. And I really don't want Butcher to go unless I think Mother's Milk could maybe be the next one that could be as badass as him. I don't see the other guys being able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyone else got anything else to say on those shows? Or
how much was read of the boys? Anybody?
Rate?
Read the books.
Nah, I've only read the first omnibus down there, but I didn't enjoy it.
I've met the artist.
Because the
Derek Robertson came here.
The reveal of who Black Noir is very different in the comics.
Well, yeah, I only read the first one, and was that in the first one? I don't think it was in the first one.
I don't know. I haven't read them. I'm waiting to get these omnibuses before I read them. But I just remember reading an article about who Black Noir is meant to be according to the comics, which is obviously different in the show.
Yeah, it's supposed to be another Homelander, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I didn't want to say that in case it was going to spoil anybody. But yes, that's right.
It's no, so this is predictions.
I haven't read it, and I know it.
Yeah, Homelander. It's a clone of Homelander.
Yeah.
Is Mother Milk a soup? No.
No idea.
He's not.
No.
He might be in the books. I haven't, in the comics, I don't think he was. I don't think he was.
We haven't seen him be a soup in the show. Unless he's hiding it, but...
No, I don't
Well,
think he is.
unless he's taking the drug that they're taking, but because he's taking a lot of blows from soups.
Oh, God. Go back to sleep, Chris.
No, that was a good one. Oh, well,
That's good.
well, then what we'll do is we'll go around and see any shows you guys can recommend people that you're watching at the moment that you feel that might not be. What are you watching, Bo, that highly underrated that you might think people won't know of?
Well, I just finished a show called The Midwich Cuckoos on The Stand, which is a remake of of the Cuckoo Children, like the Children of the Corn, where every woman in this town gets pregnant at the same time, and fast forwards a few years later, and all these kids are like evil as hell, and they've all got like this hive mind, and that's all I'll say without giving away too much plot point. But it's been done a few times, and I'm pretty sure it's a one and done series, so there won't be a season 2. And the other one I mentioned was From, which is these people get stuck in a town, and at night these creatures trying to get you.
Nice. Mark, what have you been watching?
Lately, I haven't been watching too many TV shows. I guess one I could say that I just finished season 3 of Jessica Jones. If anybody had never got through to see that, or just gone through the first 2 seasons or whatever, season 3 was really good. I enjoyed it a lot.
It's great, isn't it? Full killer,
It was so good. Best out of the 3 seasons, so highly recommend it. That's mine.
Spidey?
Well, obviously, I mentioned Backstage. I have Umbrella Academy season 3 is now out. I've seen the first. It is a 10-episode. Don't know whether it's a 10-episode season in total, because a lot of the Netflix shows, as we know, tend to go, and this is like a mid-season break, and then you'll get like another couple episodes or another 10 episodes or whatever it is. But we'd assume it'd only be a 10-episode thing, saying they're 50, 55-minute episodes. But watch the first 5 episodes, and it's I don't know anything about the Umbrella Academy besides what I've watched from the Netflix shows, which is what I like about some of the independent stuff. I can go in there with an open mind, and I'm really enjoying it. Actually, like it's a bit of a trip, and it's a bit of a. Sometimes you got to think about what the hell's actually going on, because obviously there's paradoxes and there's a bit of time travel and all that sort of stuff. So sometimes you got to think a little bit, but really enjoying season 3. But yeah, that's probably about, besides obviously the ones we've already talked about, it's mainly what I've been watching at the moment.
Has anyone checked out Out of Range on Amazon?
No.
Is that the new what's his name? Shit, I've had a mental blank.
Is it Josh Brolin one?
Thanos guy. Yeah, Josh Brolin, yeah.
It's this circular
crater
pit thing in his farm, and it's very supernatural and dimensional, and that looks interesting.
Watch Atlanta on Hulu. It's God tier. 3 seasons. This last season 3 delivered a season. The TV has been done before. Do we have Hulu here?
No.
Who does
That's
Hulu?
busy, isn't it?
They go through Binge, I think.
Binge, yeah.
Because Peacemaker series was on Hulu, and we got it through Binge. So
yeah, so it'd be on Binge then. Question:
they're showing that Prey, the Predator one, on Hulu, but that's going to go to Disney. So it just depends who owns them, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say, because a lot of
the
them
production company, whatever the production company it is.
It's the same with Hellstorm. Hellstorm was on Star, which is on Disney Plus.
Atlanta has Donald Glover in it, and it's on Binge.
Okay.
I don't have Binge. It's the one that I don't have. Hey, Spidey, question is with Umbrella Academy, because when I was watching it, because I haven't watched the last 2 seasons, the girl that turned into a guy, is she playing a guy character now on there, or what's the deal?
Oh, you're talking about Alan/Elliot Page.
Whatever the name, whatever they or them, I don't know if she's one of those ones.
I don't know how to really. It's coming up as Elliot Page now in the actual thing.
Her character, does she still play the girl in the show, or is she playing a bloke? Like, does she have?
She's cut her hair and she's calling herself Victor, not Vanya now. It's what I've always thought I would be, or whatever like that. So I think they've they've actually written that into the show.
Because that's what I was trying. Because I haven't seen it since that whole debacle thing, so I was curious to know what they're going to do.
Yeah, I don't think it's a sort of guy versus girl thing. I think it's that, like, what do they call it? Like non-denominational or non-binary or whatever that
Yeah, I
thing
just
is.
was wondering if they were going to put that in the storyline or they were just going to put a wig on.
Pretty much the
I mean?
second, I think it was like second episode. Yeah, she went and got a haircut to like a really short thing, like what it is now. And it says, "Please call me Victor, not Vanya."
Okay.
Right. Well, a show that I can recommend, I was talking about it backstage, Billy the Kid. It's on Stan here in Australia. I don't know where it is in America. If you love your Westerns, like I do, it is a great show. And I actually watched the movie today. I don't know if anyone's watched it, but if you want a good, fun, entertaining movie that will not disappoint, I had so much fun. Oh, fuck.
I can't think of the name now.
It's a bad title for a show.
No, it's Kevin Hart and Woody Harrison. I've gone blank.
Oh, I just saw the preview to that.
Someone please in the comment section help me out here.
I'll help you out.
The Toronto.
Yeah, the Toronto guy, isn't it? The Toronto guy.
What was it?
You are thinking about The Man from Toronto.
The Man from Toronto. What if you have not seen that movie? Go and watch it. It is fun and entertaining. It is great. Yeah. Kevin Hart and it's Woody Harrison, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Do not disappoint. It's a really fun movie to watch.
Oh, really?
Jump on that.
Yeah.
And I'm watching Superman and Lois. I'll probably, as soon as I get off this, I'm gonna probably watch. I got half of the last episode to go. I think it's the last episode.
I still haven't seen any of that yet.
To be honest, I stopped watching it after episode 9 because it just played that fucking typical CW crap where, I didn't like what they done with Lana Lang. Listen, you don't have to make the husband cheat on her, and then all of a sudden she's running for mayor, and then all the males are against her becoming mayor because she's a female, and then she becomes mayor, and it's this the woman that got cheated on, and no. They could have just they fell out of love. You didn't have to make the husband cheat on her. They just started to play the politics in the show. Yeah. So I kind of stopped watching it. I wasn't against her becoming the mayor or anything like that. I'm more happy for that. I was just more against, we got to do the stereotype of the man cheated, the man this, the man that. You know what I mean? That's what I hate in shows.
Definitely lost its momentum, didn't it? And even the stuff with the kids and the relationships with the kids, and just
Jordan.
I watched 3 episodes and couldn't stand Lois.
She's all right. I liked her in this. She's all right, but I don't like.
She never.
Because it's the girl from Grimm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, I liked her in Grimm. But I'd have to see her in this to see whether.
I wasn't the biggest fan. I always picture Lois. I don't think anyone would ever. I don't think anyone's going to
thinking of Terry Hatcher, don't you?
Well, yeah, Terry Hatcher. But have you revisited those? She's really annoying in them.
I've seen it because I've got a VPN. I've got HBO Max. I actually saw it there on the section. I was going to start watching it again. So I used to love it. Oh yeah, I used to love it back then, but that was back then when we were young. You know what I mean? Now, when you watch that, when I watched The Flash with from back in '91, I watched that now and I'm like, fuck.
Wesley Shipp or whatever his name is.
Wesley Snip, Dawson's dad. I just fuck, bite my teeth now, man. It's like, phew. Yeah. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining us for this live stream. Appreciate everyone in the comment section jumping in. We'll go around the table and let you guys give yourself a plug and let people know what you got coming up. Bo?
Well, Mark, Rod Watson and I have our semi-weekly live chats on Monday, as well as our other shows that we, whatever we can think of through the MCU. Ryan has a couple of Kenobi thoughts to bring up later this week. Sharice's custom corners and whatnot. Yep, go check out AussieVerse.
Yes, sort of the same Bo said, but I guess if I had to add anything, maybe I'll go shopping for jeans soon.
Always with the random comment.
And guys, go and subscribe to them because they're going for the 400. They're going to give out, what is it, $100 Amazon gift card?
$100 Amazon gift card.
So everyone, get them to 400. Hurry up and get them to 400 because I'm going to win the Amazon gift card. We know that. So just get them there so I can win this gift card because I've got some books that I want to buy. All right. I don't know what their plan is of how to make a winner, but I'm going to win it. So go and subscribe so I can get my $100 gift card. And Spidey?
He's going to rig it somehow.
Well, after Bo's workout video, I'm thinking I can just rock up in a bikini and I might be able to tempt him.
Whatever floats your boat, I suppose. Yeah, well, as I was on another stream earlier, one of the US streams. I haven't been on YouTube at all this week. Haven't done any YouTubing stuff this week. The infamous Hell Week, which if anybody has ever worked in any kind of retail situation, they know that equals stock take. So yes, I have not even touched the computer or anything. So hopefully back to regular stuff next week. I'll do it at random like I always do. It'll either be an artist series, it'll be one of my statues, it'll be some comics, it'll be something. You'll probably catch me on some of the American Live Hangout streams as I always am, and I will be around like I always am.
Well, thank you very much, guys, for coming on. Guys, please, if you're watching replay, description below has links to all of their channels, so go and hit subscribe. Also, be sure to subscribe to Talking Pop Culture. We're at 442. I don't know if you guys get it where it goes up, down by 2, up, down 2, up, down 2. And it's
we won't have that discussion.
It just keeps going up, down, up, down. But once we get to 500, I'm going to give away a whole bunch of books, also an Amazon gift card. So hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. And we'll see you guys soon.
Peace.
I'm just